Today on XYZ with Erik Zachary, Ed Sheeran has found his old phone. It's also a song. It's also an Instagram. We're unpacking all of that. What are you watching Wednesday? Jordan he's done with The Last of Us.
Yeah. This is the last for me.
Trace watched Bobland.
Mobland.
Okay.
Mob.
Whatever. And I got a full feature review on Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler, Haley Steinfeld. Sinners in theaters going into its third weekend. Go see it. I will get into that plus Mom's Hot Take and more. XYZ with Erik Zachary starts. This actually really hurts my knuckles.
Then keep doing it.
Now. Weeks ago, shocking news broke that the voting members of the Academy Awards did not have to watch all the films in a single category to vote for that category. Like, if, for example, Anora won a ton of categories, right? Mm-hmm. You could have just watched Anora and voted for Anora. And so the Academy Awards, after, 98 years now, it was like, oh, well, you should probably have to watch all of the movies in the category. Not only are they just starting to require this, but the voting members are anonymously, like, just being cheeky, like, saying, well, we'll just hit play and mute it. There's nothing saying we have to sit there.
Are you kidding me? This is a joke. First of all, boycott the Oscars. This is like moving your mouse around to keep active on Slack.
Yeah, you got that Outlook tracker, and you're like, I work from home, I swear, and you're sleeping.
Yep. No. Have everybody go to the movies all at once if you want to vote.
Yep.
Boom, figured it out.
Done. And if you sleep, then we spray you with a water bottle.
I like that.
Done.
I want to be that guy.
My 8th grade teacher used to do that.
That's messed up.
It's wrong.
I got an eraser thrown at my head.
Oh, lawsuit.
Yeah.
That's I think you passed the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran is ready to release his next track following the success of As He Zam. He has Old Phone, which he's been teasing by actually launching an Old Phone Instagram. Nice. It's called Teddy's Old Phone. He's been putting up photos that have never seen the light of day. Many of him and Taylor Swift, of him and Harry Styles and Betty Blanco way back in the day.
That's cool.
He also put a teaser of the new song.
I found my old phone today in a box that I had hidden away.
He said he wrote this song at 2 a.m. when he was jet lagged and woke up. Everyone else was still asleep. He figured I might as well write a song. So he did that on the beach in India. Is where he wrote it.
Fun.
Very crazy, cool story. It was one of the last songs to come for his next project, and it comes out tomorrow. Old
I
Phone.
hope the seagull makes it to the track.
The seagull in the background?
Yes.
Well, he's just filmed this live on the beach.
Yeah. I hope the seagull gets credit.
I don't think it's going to be on the final track.
Messed up.
It's XYZ. What are you watching Wednesday? All brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. We've been into binging watching lately. I have Sinners. So I'm going to save that for the end because it's in theaters right now, and I feel like everyone's talking about this. But in case you're not going to the movies or you want something to watch and binge at home, Jordan, I'll defer to you.
I finally jumped on board with producer Trace and Tamra and checked out The Last of Us Season 2.
Oh, you did? Are you caught up?
Yep.
Is it 3 episodes now?
It's 3 episodes. I'm stopping at 2. I don't want to watch a single episode after the second episode. Oh, it was going to be a big one. It's huge.
Yeah.
They did their big one. They did it too big.
See, I haven't seen it, and I feel like since I'm already 3 episodes behind, I might as well just wait out the season.
Just wait it out. Get the video game. Play the video game.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's the problem. I hate that everybody says that. Oh, go play the video game. Oh, so you want me to spend copious hours playing a game just so I can watch a show?
No, because I watched season 1
not.
without playing the game, and I enjoyed it.
Exactly.
I have a new show, Mobland.
Out on
Paramount Plus.
What is it called?
Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan. It's awesome. It's a
Mobland?
UK
Mob.
like
Mobland.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
Mobland.
is it an amusement park for men named Robert?
Nope. It's the underground mafia in the UK. It's great.
I'm sorry, Trace. You lost me after Bobland because that was the dumbest joke.
Genuinely what I heard.
Killed me. Okay.
Mobland. I love a good mob show. That's on Paramount Plus. Okay.
Nice.
And then here we go. I'm just going to step on this soapbox. That's me putting it down.
Oh, boy.
And
Okay,
climbing
here
up.
we go.
Sinners. I know we've been hearing about it, and
Yep.
I was in the same club as like, okay, this seems like it's getting all the fanfare. And usually when that happens, and then I drag my butt to the movies, I'm kind of like, I don't get it.
Sure.
Okay.
I will say this, and I know Jordan gives me a hard time about it. I genuinely am a fan of movies. Like I'm hard pressed to find a movie I don't like.
Okay.
But because of that, there's also a lot of movies where I don't walk away from saying like, I need to go watch that again. Once
Sure.
I'm one and done.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the theaters and see Sinners again.
That's
Really?
big coming from you.
So good. The screenwriting, the acting, Ryan Coogler's entire storyline, what he envisioned, mixing very true historical events and somewhat of the history of blues in the United States.
Yeah.
Coming from the South. There's a huge tie line to Chicago, which being from Chicago is just so cool to me.
Right.
And I don't want to give anything away, but then you have the fiction part of it because
there's vampires.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin anything, but it's in the trailer. It's all over. There's vampires.
What
but
exactly is the premise? Because I have not read anything on it. I've only seen the preview.
At face value, Michael B. Jordan, which he's getting all the acclaim and he deserves even more, plays two characters. He plays twin brothers.
Okay.
They went to Chicago to be a part of like the gangs for a little bit and work with Capone and all the different groups, and then they came back to Mississippi to start their own juke joint. So they wanted a place where people can go dance, sing, be merry.
Okay.
And you follow them basically. Everything that you see in the movie basically takes place over the course of 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it literally is over the course of 24 hours besides like a few moments. They mix and blend. There's a single scene where if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to give anything away. It's heavy music influence throughout the movie, but there's a scene where in the same way that like Baz Luhrmann in The Great Gatsby kind of mixed modern music with an old premise,
sure,
that happens very briefly in this film, and it is a scene that I would pay just to go back and see that.
Wow.
It is so damn good.
He loves it.
I don't think you have to save yourself for IMAX. If you want to go see a good movie, just go see it.
Right.
If you're a huge cinephile or you want the impact of IMAX, absolutely IMAX only heightens it.
Sure.
But it's not required.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I don't need 3D glasses for this.
No, you don't need 3D glasses for
Gotcha.
it. No, it's beautiful cinematography, the production. I can get real nerdy with the technical stuff, but just like from an acting story standpoint, best movie I've seen in over a year.
Okay.
Hands down. Sinners in theaters now. Go see it. You've got Mobland on Paramount Plus, and Jordan saying don't watch The Last of Us.
You could just not watch it. It's
Give it a chance.
What are you watching Wednesday? All brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. Bad reviews on XYZ with Erik Zachary. It's all brought to you by State Farm. Hilariously awful reviews that we find on the internet. Jordan, today's is on Buffalo Blue Pate Wet cat food.
Yes. This is a rare one. 5-star review. This woman, Malls, said, I secretly add this to my husband's post-workout shakes because I hate him.
No.
So far, he hasn't noticed.
No.
The better part is 211 people voted this helpful. Yeah.
I hate the internet so much. I can't open my dog's wet cat food or wet dog food without gagging every time. I just can't.
Well, the husband can.
This husband doesn't have taste or smell. Blue Buffalo, excuse me. I said Buffalo Blue.
Yes, Blue Buffalo.
And again, I just want to be clear. This does not reflect on Blue Buffalo as a brand.
No.
My dogs love it. Bad reviews all brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Dumb of the day is coming up on the way, and it doesn't get much dumber than this when people just act the fool on an airplane. Southwest, no less. Before we talk about the great poop massacre of 2025.
No one died. Don't say massacre.
Okay.
The seat did.
The incident.
Fair.
People smelled it.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, a little bonus dumb today.
The ad campaigns in the early 2000s for piracy, don't steal music. There was one that everybody, maybe you remember, you wouldn't steal a car. Why would you steal music?
Oh, yeah, like comparing the badness of the two things.
Exactly.
Sure.
So through hacking and AI, people just found out recently that the font for you wouldn't steal a car was in fact pirated. So look at us.
Great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, God, the 2000s were such a fun time.
Wild West.
I miss Kaza. Dumb of the day on XYZ with Erik Zachary. It's all brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. This is interesting. A Southwest passenger stripped down and defecated into a seat.
Yep.
I want to be very clear. Not on or around.
How do you do it?
I would imagine it's very directional, Trace. This happened recently on a Southwest flight where a passenger clearly had some sort of mental episode. And that's not what I'm making light of. That's very real, but it's just, wow. What a way to go out.
Yeah, which camera am I looking at? Trace, is it this one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Recently, from a flight from Philadelphia to Chicago,
Of course it was Philly. Of course it was Philly.
Yes.
Oh, the Eagles fans suck.
This woman felt the need to take it upon herself to strip down to her nethers and poop in the seat.
It was a woman.
Yes, it was.
I didn't read the story at all. Admittedly, I just assumed crazy
Guy?
dude. Yeah, that I was like, oh, Philly's like.
corrected, or I guess sit. Anyway, what is the sudden urge to lose your mind on an airplane? Is it airborne? Is it like COVID? I don't understand why people just, I don't know, do the most on a plane. And this one was big. Obviously.
Do the most.
There it is. There it is. We're going to keep rolling out the hits.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Obviously got grounded. They had to...
It's a biohazard.
Yeah, it's a
they
biohazard.
They got to clean the plane.
They had to extensively clean the plane just to make sure everything was good. But yeah, Southwest, I feel for you. This is awful.
Yeah, I as many Southwest jokes as I'd like to make, this has nothing to do with them. This is just the clientele. And Jordan, what's your phrase been lately? Stop treating planes like the bus.
Bus culture.
It's
is
bus
getting
culture.
too common on buses or on planes. This is ridiculous.
I don't want to be an advocate for higher airfares because I'm glad they're coming down because they were absurd. But I do think that we need to put better protocols into place on who's allowed on an aircraft. Flying is a privilege. It is not a right.
Right.
These are private companies.
Yes.
Start privatizing who you let on these planes.
I'm not mad at that.
XYZ with Erik Zachary. Dumb of the day, all brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. A new study has revealed that quitting your job may add more years to your life than quitting smoking, to which I say, how bad is your job?
Seriously.
That can't be true.
I'm telling you, Big Tobacco would have ate this up in the 2000s.
I think they still will.
This would have been a fire commercial. Quit your job, don't quit smoking.
Right.
Joe Camel, come on. That would have went so hard.
The Mark Polo man putting in his 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Obviously, this is a skewed study, but I think the too long don't read is if you find yourself in a very stressful place, it's a very real health risk that you're taking years off your life.
Stress is real.
However, I can't imagine that there's a world that any one job could truly take more years off your life than the negative health benefits of smoking.
Yeah, exactly.
XYZ with Erik Zachary, Mom's Hot Take, all brought to you by T-Mobile. My mom joining the show today to talk about swatting, and more specifically, Gordon Ramsay was swatted. If you don't know, it's when someone calls in a fake emergency that would elicit some large-scale police response.
Sometimes battering ram.
The people that it's happening to have no idea.
Right.
They are not the ones that made the call.
A really cruel prank.
It's a highly illegal, but it happens all the time, and it's very hard to track it sometimes.
Yeah.
And this happened to Gordon Ramsay. My mom joining the show now to provide her commentary from outside Gordon Ramsay's house.
Wow, this is crazy. I'm standing here outside this house, and he was not home at the swatting incident, but it's an internet prank that somebody called in. Yeah. And there were shots fired, they said. And
oh wow!
They deployed the police right away. They asked the neighbors. The neighbors obviously said no shots were fired. So then at that point, I believe.
Okay.
Someone said that shots were fired.
We need to go over journalistic standards because you just reported that shots were fired, aka almost swatting us.
Yes.
No, you're saying someone called saying that happened. That's why police. Okay.
Got you. Okay.
To his LA home. I'm reading the article now. Okay, so this did happen. I just want to make sure my mom wasn't just like
just making it up.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, this has been going on for a while. For a long time, though, it really wasn't affecting major celebrities. It was more gamers. And
it was the Twitch community because the whole bit was, if the cops come in while they're on live,
while they're streaming,
you can see the whole thing happen in real time.
Right.
So more viewership.
That's
not really.
It was done in more of a malicious way.
Yeah. The person who's on the stream doesn't know it's happening, so it doesn't benefit them at all.
Right.
That is so cruel.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a waste of the police department's efforts and energy. It's awful to the people that it happens to. In many cases, and in several cases, it's ended up very poorly because the cops don't necessarily believe the people that it's happening to.
Right.
Those people get thrown on the ground, arrested, sometimes even worse situations.
It's happened to Cardi B a couple times where they've called Child Protective Services on her.
Oh, my.
Someone will say like, "Oh, she's doing this, that, and the third to her kids. She's a
Right.
very polarizing person." So
And it's
Jail time for that, definitely.
it's hard to track though, because sometimes
Yeah.
people do it anonymously, or if they're very tech savvy, they go through servers and
Exactly.
proxies, and they can't really track it. And it's hard because it's the whole little girl who cried wolf, little boy
Right.
who cried wolf, because the police obviously always want to take any call very seriously, but at what
Sure.
point do they know it's a prank or not?
yeah.
Well, then why the word swatting?
Because it's the SWAT team, Mom.
Yeah, they bring
okay,
in the SWAT.
Yeah, the whole idea is that you call in something that causes such a big response that the SWAT
Right.
team actually
Okay,
has to show
okay.
up. And
You
Got
can't
it.
just call 911 and say, "Oh, you should go to someone's house."
Right.
To your
Okay.
point earlier, someone had to call in and say they heard shots fired at Gordon Ramsay's house,
Yeah.
which would elicit that large of a police response. It has
you're
to be huge.
basically circumventing the different blockade. What's the word I'm looking for? Different tiers of emergency.
Like, yeah. So like it's not like a home visit
Right.
would be like the smallest, 2 cops,
Like a
maybe
wellness
1
check
cop.
or
yeah,
something,
like a
yeah.
wellness check.
So-
It's not that.
Do you think that the bad people that are doing these, eliciting these swatting efforts, are like getting like pyramid money schemes and stuff? Like it's like, well, if I swat Gordon Ramsay, I'm going to give you $100,000.
I don't think that there's any
I don't
way
think
to
they're
tie
a swatter.
ransom into it.
They're a swatter for hire, if that's what you're asking. I do know that there's a huge, in hacking coalitions and in tech, forums and whatnot, there's a lot of respect. It's like, oh, if you can achieve
Okay.
this, then
That's what I was
Right.
kind of
that's what they're
at.
doing it
Gotcha,
for.
yeah.
But that's more of a, status thing as opposed to, I don't think anyone's tying money to it.
Well, that just sucks, and it's horrible.
Yes.
And
Yes, it does.
stop
Yes, it
it.
does.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
ridiculous.
All right.
You heard it here first, folks.
Your hot take is stop it.
Mom said stop.
So don't do it.
That's right.
Mom's Hot Take, all brought to you by T-Mobile. For a great deal on our iPhone 16 Pro, head to T-Mobile.com. From the T-Mobile studios, it's XYZ with Erik Zachary. I got a T-Mobile topic for you guys.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, I was traveling through Tennessee, and I forgot to tell you, I called an Uber, and I was in a little more of a remote area where, like, the nearest Uber was 12 minutes away, waited out the 12 minutes,
Sure.
car finally comes up. I'm going to the airport. I got a tight timeline because a flight
Right.
is coming.
Yeah.
A car shows up that's not the car on my Uber app.
Okay.
The driver's the same.
Okay.
License plate.
Different.
No, license plate is the same, but it's a temp plate.
Oh.
And I look at the guy. I'm like, this isn't the car in the app. And he goes, I know, my car's in the shop. And I know that under normal circumstances, you should not ever get in the vehicle that is not the car on your
Yes.
app.
Yes.
However, I had to make my flight for a multitude of reasons.
Sure.
And the guy seemed to, he didn't speak great English, but he used the translating app to be like, I'm really sorry. I understand if you don't want to get in the car, but I promise this is like, he showed me his phone. Like it was him.
Okay.
Sure.
It was his app. He's like, you're going to the airport.
Yeah.
I'm not proud that I got in the car
Why?
because I feel like I preach safety when it comes to ride sharing.
Yeah, but I mean, your story just told me that he checked the majority of the boxes that you would be safe.
But the main box that it didn't check, which is the one that Uber and Lyft says, never get into a vehicle that's not listed and report your driver. Because
As a guy who worked for Lyft.
yeah, you drove for
Oh.
Lyft.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is. I think you were okay. 1, he apologized. 2, it was the guy. 3, you really didn't have another choice.
I didn't. The next Uber would have been another 10, 12 minutes at best.
Right.
It probably would have just been him again.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
I needed
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I needed
No,
to
I'm not
get to
doing
the
it.
airport.
okay, I
this
guess.
So, but it presents the question, where is that boundary for you personally? If you're not going to get into an Uber or a ride share, whether it's the attitude of the driver, the location in which you're in, the quality of the car or the safety of the vehicle. Let's talk about it next. Think about it. All right. What's your stopping point of you won't get into an Uber? I feel like for Jordan, it's going to be pretty far down the line
There's
compared to
there's
us.
some more serious things
All
for
right,
me.
all
but
right. We'll
get
talk about
into
it in just a few on XYZ. I despise this story so much.
Okay.
A new study has revealed that just like humans, cats can also be left or right pawed.
Dog community's pretty quiet.
It has nothing to do.
Dog community's pretty quiet.
I don't think that having a dominant limb as an animal is as important as a human with opposable thumbs.
Guess what?
Because you're not
Your
writing.
best friend doesn't know his left from his right.
Oh no, they do. This is
Uh-oh.
just biased.
Where's
cats.
the research?
What-
Where's the
but what-
research?
what
You
are
don't
the
need a
cats-
study. You
what are
say
they-
shake.
here we
the
go.
dog's hand,
Yeah.
go left to right. All
Let's
right, that's your
fight.
first
I
one.
just think
Here
this
we
is a
go.
stupid study. Like,
Yup.
who
Yeah.
cares if your cat's a lefty? Like,
Where
what?
my cat people at? I do.
This has
I do.
nothing to do with me being a cat person or not. I grew up with cats. I like cats, but I don't care if they're lefty or righty.
This is Felix. He's 2. He's a lefty.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you
that's
know
a
what?
dinner party
You
I
know
would turn
there's a
around
bunny.
Yes.
immediately from.
Like that isn't dog people.
No.
No, I agree
You
with
got
Jordan.
it.
I think dog people can be just as bad.
Speak on it.
I just don't think it matters. Unless it's a chimp with opposable thumbs, I don't care if it's left or right-handed.
You would want a chimp?
I would love a chimp.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want a
Yeah.
chimp?
You don't see me with a
Y'all
chimp.
don't
I'd be
remember
the guy.
that woman in like 2001 who got her face ripped off by
Well,
the
mine
chimp?
would be a good chimp.
Oh, and that's how it starts.
What's your minimum standard for getting into an Uber or a Lyft or a rideshare? I'm not trying to call it any one company, but getting into a rideshare vehicle.
Sure.
XYZ with Erik Zachary. A couple of weeks ago, I was traveling. I was in a pretty remote part of the country.
Right.
I called an Uber, and it was like the closest one was 12, 15 minutes away. When he finally arrived, the vehicle that was there was not the vehicle on the app. It was the same driver. He didn't speak great English, but he seemed nice enough and was using a translation app to explain that his main car was in the shop.
Right.
But I know this is a major no-no, at least according to the terms and services of Uber and Lyft. Don't get into a vehicle that's not listed, right? With that said, I needed to get to the airport.
Right.
So I made the decision, and I understand there's a lot of privilege with being, just a straight white man, being able to get in the back of a car, middle of the day. I felt pretty safe. I wouldn't recommend this to some of my other friends. With that said, what is your stopping point? Because Jordan's like, there's no problem here. It's the same guy.
I don't think there's a problem there. I think you were very safe.
What happens if it gets into an accident? I feel like that just complicates
Get
so many.
out the car?
Not
and-
insured at all.
and
Yeah.
That's not your problem.
It can be.
If you
get hurt and you need your medical insurance to get picked up.
If you get hurt, sure. But
Don't act like that's a big if. If you get in an accident, you're probably hurt.
I
Yeah.
don't think that from my experience, I just feel like you were using Lyft, it was the guy, or Uber, doesn't matter which one. The guy who was supposed to pick you up did pick you up. They were
Yeah.
just in a different car.
Okay, so what if it's the
No.
same car, same license plate, and different driver?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. That's
the
actually
problem.
wildly dangerous.
Yeah.
If the car is
Someone probably stole the car.
I
and
don't.
the
I'm not
phone.
gonna put anything out there. If the car is stolen, I don't know what the case may
This is
be.
a hypothetical scenario.
I
Jordan.
know.
Why
I'm
are
just,
you-
I'm
What?
just saying.
What?
I'm just saying.
Who are
I'm-
you
I'm being-
protecting?
That hypothetical guy who gave you a 5-star
No,
ride.
not this guy was fine.
See what I'm saying?
I wouldn't say
Anyway,
5-star. He was a
if the-
little shifty with his driving ability. But
If the car is beat up, if you don't think this car is gonna get
It
you
was.
to your destination,
that was
I'd be
the other
like,
problem. It was a
"Ugh."
pretty beat up car, and it was
Okay, so-
stick. I don't like when my Uber is manual.
Okay.
That's just, I don't care how good of a driver you are. The automatic is there for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to call out my car guys, but I don't think that a manual stick shift is what you should be using to ride share.
I think you guys are bougie. I think you guys are bougie
100%.
riders.
Bougie?
100%.
Yeah.
I was in the back of a
Absolutely.
98
You know what?
Corolla. I'm
Thank
not
you,
in a
Trace.
black car.
Thank you, Trace, for being real.
I'm owning it.
Yeah,
If it's not
you
the car
should.
that's on
You
the app,
should.
nope, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm moving
Okay.
on.
Mine
What was your stopping point then, Trace? Let's say it's same car, same driver. What's something that would still cause you not to get into the vehicle?
If I hear it coming around the corner, I'm not getting in it.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if it's just too rattly.
Rattly,
there's been
too-
some
yeah.
golf carts that I've gotten in lately.
Same, and they
Yeah.
smell like gasoline. I had one of those in high school. I know exactly what they sound like,
His
what
Honda
they smell
Civic.
like. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of stick
Not doing
shift,
it.
he did
Yes.
not know how to drive that car
Hey,
manual.
I learned, damn it. All right? I learned how to drive that car.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not
man.
getting somebody else in
I'd
that
agree
car.
there.
Yeah. So what is your threshold then, Jordan?
Okay, so I've told this story on the show before, but the time I got in an Uber and the guy was like, "Don't talk, don't ask me to change or lower or
he
raise
gave
the
you
volume."
rules.
He gave me rules.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Pull over, let me get out." And then he locked the doors and was like, "No," and took off.
That's kidnapping.
That's kidnapping.
You
got
in that-
kidnapped.
I got kidnapped to my destination. Very awkward. But
Still made it there.
Still made
but,
it.
Explain
I'm
that to the
uncomfortable.
cops.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't. I like one started, but I was like, "Hey, you guys got a guy.
It's
you
a
should fire."
problem.
Yeah. So stuff
right.
like that. But if it moves and it's the
if
guy,
it moves.
No.
I'm
no.
doing it.
Also,
Especially
if
in your
there's
situation.
If there's a front passenger, someone.
Oh,
Oh, this is
yeah.
my
Oh
friend.
yeah, no,
That's
no,
happened too.
sketchy, sketchy.
Jordan would take a shopping cart
What if they
it was,
got their
had
dog
Uber
in
or
the
sign
car?
on it.
Dog, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
One time I got in the car and the dude was like, "You mind that I have my dog with me?" And I was like, I'm going pretty far, so let's
Yeah.
just do this.
My thing's if they're eating too much. Like I don't mind a snack, but I had that guy that had ramen a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that.
I would never do that again. Now I feel myself checking the front seat, like, what kind of snacks you be eating during this trip?
Right.
Texting in general, like anything
Not
that's
okay.
distracting you from driving.
Or when they're
not
saying,
the
"Do you
move.
mind if I take a call?" and their call, they're screaming on.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
a problem.
But those are all, you're already in the car at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you
Right.
do?
See, you're a real one.
complain about it after on your radio show, Trace.
You're a real one if you're already on the call.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, don't
Yeah.
ask the
Yeah.
passenger. Just be on the call.
Oh man, what is your threshold for not taking an Uber, even if you need it? XYZ content on Instagram.